Hello and welcome to this brief tutorial on how to accept a calendar invite. Today we're going to be looking at what is a calendar invite, how to accept it, what does one look like, where to find it on your calendar, and why it's important to do. So let's begin. What is a calendar invite? A calendar invite is an email that you will receive that once you click it, it will ask you to accept or deny a calendar invite. Once you do this, it will inform us, once you click yes or no, that you have seen it and accepted it. So in this case, you can see that the email that we have been looking at accepted it, as we can see yes here, and from my other email, my work email, I can see that it has been accepted. This lets us know that when we schedule things with someone, they have seen it and approved it, and we can expect them to show up.
Now let's look at the cell phone view. Here we can see that there are different types of applications for using email on a phone. I have Just Mail, which is the built-in one for Apple, Gmail, and I have Outlook at the bottom. It's important to know that different applications for using email will have different interfaces. They'll all look a little differently. And sometimes that can make accepting a calendar invite easier or harder. For instance, let's look at the Mail app that is built into my iPhone. If I look at the top, I have the email invite. And if I click it, I simply get what looks like an attachment. I don't have anything that says accept or deny. And if I click it, I can download it and it gives me this little screen. I can see at the bottom where it says accept, maybe, decline. I can then click accept and then it should notify my email, the one that I sent this from, to let it know that it has been accepted. I can also change this retroactively if I need to change it for whatever reason. But it's a good idea to inform your teachers if you change these and not to just simply do it here and expect them to catch it. If we look at a different type of email, such as Gmail, I can click on the email invite, and here it has a different type of interface altogether. I don't need to download anything, and it just shows me from this screen. I can also click yes, no, or maybe from here, and then it will inform my email that it has been accepted.
Now, some email services interact with calendars differently. It's probably a good idea to use a Gmail account if you're trying to keep track of the calendar itself. For certain emails may interact differently, and it's hard to create a video that talks about all of them. So if the email that you are using does not have any ability to interact with a calendar, it's okay if you're simply accepting them and making sure you're keeping track of them on your own. But if you do want to have access to a calendar, that when you accept these get put onto them, it's good to have an email that offers a calendar with it, like Gmail. Since I have accepted this email, let's look for the calendar invite on Gmail. So right here we can see that there is a little calendar icon, but typically you can always find it by clicking the little grid up at the top and then finding the calendar app. Once I click the calendar app, we should see right down here for 2 to 3 p.m. we have the test email invite. This helps me keep track of the different types of invites that we may be using throughout the day.
Now let's take a moment to look back at cell phones and using calendars with them. Now here I'm going to try to open it up, but because I don't have the app downloaded, I'm going to have to download it before it will let me open up Calendar. So let's do that. Now that I have the app downloaded, let's try to open up the Calendar app from here. Open in Calendar. I need to give it access, so let's give it full access. I got to sign in with my email. As you go through the process, you may be asked to give permission to do certain things. You can follow along to see where I'm clicking, but just make sure you read through it to do what you want to do. You might have to go through a few steps, but now I have my calendar here, so I can see all these different days, and if I want to do a different view, I can also select here and do a month view. It will load, and then I'll be able to see different days I might have appointments, such as here, where it says 2 to 3 for a RISD text admin meeting. Some applications, like Outlook, actually have a calendar built in, and you can just see where things are scheduled from here.
Why this is important is because it allows us to know that you have seen emails and invites when we set up appointments. If you are struggling to see a certain calendar invite, it's a good idea to talk to the teachers and see if we can set up a plan, maybe making a certain email just for GED, or maybe there's some sort of complication. Ideally, though, we'd be able to set up a strategy that works for you if you are interested in using email to also connect with a calendar to organize your activities. I hope this brief tutorial was helpful for you on your GED journey. Take care.